About MCQs and on prokaryotic DNA replication. So, our first question is, you grow a bacterial culture in a media containing N15 and transfer it to a media with N14. After 2 rounds of replication, you perform a CL density gradient, centrifugation of the DNA. How many bands will you observe that will be that density intensity? First, one very intense, second, two equally intense, third, three with middle, one more intense than upper and lower, fourth, three equally intense. So our answer of this question is answer is option B, which is 2 equally intense. In semi-conservative replication, initially the DNA was N15. Okay, after first round of the replication, both strands were N14 and 15, making only a single band as they have same density. In the next round, we will get N14 and 14 and N14 and 15. So, making two bands which are equally intense for having 1:1 concentration. So, our next question is, what will be the fate of sequestering a mutant E. coli? First is DNA replication will occur less frequently. B. Replication will be error prone. C. Replication will not occur. D. Uncontrolled replication. So our answer is option B, which is replication will be error prone. So sequestering A blocks the newly produced DNA strand from methylase. This plays an important role in mismatch repair. In its absence, mismatch repair will be non-functional, producing erroneous DNA. So our next question, at which end are the new DNA bases added? Options are given below. Option A, 5-triphosphate end. Option B, 3-triphosphate end. Option C, 5-OH end. Option D, 3-OH end. So the answer is option D, which is 3-OH end. So, DNA replication proceeds from 5- to 3- direction with new bases being added to 3-OH and 5-P is at the beginning of DNA strand. So, our next question is, how many prokaryotic DNA polymerases have 5- to 3- proofreading activity? So, options are A, which is 1, B, 2, C, 3, D, 4. So, answer is option A, 1. Only DNA polymerase 1 has 5- to 3- proofreading activity. Other polymerases like Pol 2 and 3 have 3- to 5- proofreading activity. There are mainly 3 prokaryotic DNA polymerases. Next question is, which is the most processive of prokaryotic DNA polymerases? Options are given below. Option A is Pol 1, option B is Pol 2, option 3 is Pol 3, and option D is clenofragment. So our answer is Pol 3. DNA Pol 3 holoenzyme has a processivity of greater than 5 lakh, which is highest among prokaryotic polymerases. Pol first, Pol 1 and Pol 2 and clenofragment has no beta clamp, resulting in their lesser processivity. Next is our sixth question. Bacterial polymerases are slower than eukaryotic polymerases. Options are true or false. So our answer is option B, which is false. Prokaryotic polymerases can add about 50,000 bases per minute, while eukaryotic polymerases can add only 2,000 bases per minute. This slower rate is compensated by more number of origins of replication. Next is seven. In an experiment, you take a DNA in vitro and attempt to replicate it. Which combination will you add to your DNA to get the maximum replication product? So the options are given below. A. DNA A, DNA B, HU, SSB, topoisomerase 1, polymerase 1. Option B is DNA A, DNA B, HU, SSB, polymerase 3. Option C is DNA A, DNA B, DNA C, HU, SSB, polymerase 1. Option D is DNA A, DNA B, DNA C, HU, SSB, polymerase 3. So our answer is option C, which is DNA A, DNA B, DNA C, HU, SSB, polymerase 1. So DNA polymerase 1 has primase activity, which is mandatory for starting DNA replication. As polymerase 3 lacks primase activity, it will not be able to initiate replication. Also, in vitro, especially in open DNA strand, topoisomerase doesn't have much role to play, but DNA C is a must for replication, as it loads the helicase. So our next question is, in an experiment you use DNA polymerase 1 clenofragment when all other requisites for replication are added, then what will be the effect on the newly replicated DNA? Consider leading strand only. So the options are A. No difference from intact DNA polymerase 1 replication. B. Replication will be slower. C. Replication will be error prone. D. DNA produced will be shorter. So our answer is option D, which is DNA produced will be shorter. Clenofragment provides 5' to 3' exonuclease activity used to remove the primer. In its absence, the primer remains and hence DNA produced is shorter, that is original length to length of primer. Next question is, you take a circular single stranded DNA and to it you attach a small labeled complementary fragment. You add different reagents and try to get free labeled probe which of this reagent will give you your desired result. So options are, option A is DNA B, option B is DNA C, option C is DNA G, option D is DNA A. So our answer is option A, which is DNA B. DNA B has helicase activity which can separate two complementary DNA strands. This will break the link between labeled fragment and circular DNA, rendering it free. And DNA G mainly has primase activity, while DNA A and DNA C are required for replication initiation, which don't give the desired result. Okay, so next question is, which of this subunit is not a part of core DNA polymerase? Options are given below. A. Alpha, B. Beta, C. Theta, D. Eta. So our answer is option B. Beta. Beta is the clamp which helps to provide polymerase with higher processivity. However, even in its absence, DNA replication will take place, although processivity of polymerase would be slow. Alpha is the center for polymerase activity, and it along with theta and eta forms the core polymerase. Next is, rolling circle mode of replication is dash. So our options are conservative, non-conservative, semi-conservative or dispersed. So our answer is option C, which is semi-conservative. One cycle of replication result in an inner parent circular strand and outer daughter circular strand, making the process semi-conservative. It would have been conservative if resultant parent and daughter strand would be on different molecules, and dispersed if both strands would have some part of parent and daughter. Next question is, what constitutes primosome? Options are A. DNA A, DNA B, DNA C and DNA G. Option B, DNA B and DNA G. Option C, DNA C, DNA B. Option D, DNA A, DNA C. So our answer is option B, which is DNA B and DNA G. DNA B, the helicase, and DNA G, the primase, constitutes the primosome necessary for initiation. DNA A mainly generates a strand allowing DNA C to load the helicase DNA B. So next question is, if we mutate the DNA ligase and observe the length of the replicated strands in different time slots after replication initiation, what will we observe? So options are, the DNA will gradually increase in length till it is fully replicated. B. Small fragments of DNA will be obtained. increasing in number with time. C. Mixture of small and long fragments of definite length from the start whose concentrations simply increase with time. D. At first small fragment, then two separate bands showing long fragment with increasing length and short fragments of definite length. So our answer is option D, which is at first small fragment, then two separate bands showing long fragment with increasing length and short fragments of definite length. The small fragments are Okazaki fragments of lagging strand, while the longer is the leading strand DNA. While leading strand grows in length, the Okazaki fragments, in absence of ligation to each other, results in small fragments of definite length. Next question is, acyclovir is a drug used to treat viral infection by impairing its replication. Why will it not affect bacterial replication as well? So options are: bacteria under viral attack don't replicate. B. Viral polymerase binds to it and thus can't perform its function. C. Virus uses it in a polymerization. D. Cellular mechanism deactivates it. So our answer is option C. Virus uses it in a polymerization. Acyclovir is a GMP analog that cellular mechanism activates to GTP analog, which the virus uses as a substrate while polymerizing. However, as it lacks 3-OH, it terminates the replication process. Thus, cellular process activate this drug at its specificity to viral polymerase, protects the cell. So our next question is, DNA replication on the two strands proceed in opposite direction as they are aligned oppositely with respect to 3- and 5- ends. In this context, which of the following is true? A. The two arms of the DNA pol are exactly same with same orientation. B. Option B. The two arms of the DNA polymerase are exactly same with opposite orientation. Option C. The two arms of the DNA polymerase have different catalytic mechanism, that is, one polymerase is 3- is greater than 5-, other 5- is greater than 3-. Option D is the two arms are isomerase, that is, they have different arrangement of the subunits. So our answer is option A, which is the two arms of the DNA polymerase are exactly same with the same orientation. The two arms have the core subunits and beta clamp in the same orientation. The DNA strand loops through the lagging strand synthesizing arm to allow polymerization in the same direction, say right to left. However, both arms would polymerize from 5- to 3- direction only.